When you're pulled over by an officer, most of the time it's because you've done something wrong.
But an NBC2 exclusive investigation finds a Florida Highway Patrol trooper used his position to profile hundreds of women, pulling at least 15 of them over, detaining some of them for hours, even getting their phone numbers.
He violated 9 FHP policies, and it was recommended he be fired. Yet tonight, he is still on the job. NBC2 investigator Jim Spiewak is breaking this story for us tonight.
Peter Kelly, Anthony Esposito's personnel file shows there were warning signs about his behavior while in uniform. Those that trained him said Esposito would, quote, abandon a conversation if an attractive woman just walked by. Another colleague said he believed Esposito cherry-picked traffic stops. Of the 15 women named in the report, we spoke to several. One agreed to speak with us about Esposito's behavior on the job.
He's not protecting anybody, he's just getting what he wants out of it.
This woman, too afraid to show her face, was pulled over by Florida Highway Patrol trooper Anthony Esposito at the end of 2013. He didn't write her a ticket. Instead,
what specifically was he saying?
He was like, I see that you have like a nice chest or boobs. Like, I wonder if like your matches.
And she's not alone. The NBC2 investigators uncovered over a 6-month span. Esposito looked up photos and personal information of 118 women, most between the ages of 16 and 30. And he had no law enforcement reason for doing so.
It was very uncomfortable. Like, he was obviously throwing sexual hints at me, talking about like my private areas, like that he shouldn't have been talking about as a police officer.
Esposito deactivated his dash cam on 8 different stops. The internal investigation shows on this stop, not only did he turn off his dash camera as the video goes to black, he also disarmed his GPS car tracker, followed the woman home, and asked if he could come inside, but she said no.
That's disgusting, that he's definitely using his power to control women that are around him.
Esposito even admitted to having sex with one woman he had pulled over.
That's not who I would want stopping my child.
Joe Whitehead is a former detective, and he's seen thousands of internal investigations. After reading through this one, he calls Trooper Esposito a liability.
Some of these actions are descriptive of what I would call somewhat predatory behavior.
This letter sent to the director of the Florida Highway Patrol by Esposito's troop recommended he be fired for using his position to prey on young women, saying his actions discredited the public's trust.
But the union argued Esposito had previous positive reviews and that it wasn't a woman he pulled over that filed the original complaint. It was her mother.
So FHP Director David Brierton went against the troop's recommendation and signed off on this settlement agreement, allowing Esposito to keep his job.
If you had the opportunity to look the decision maker in the eye that kept him on the job, what would you say to that person?
If it was a male, I'd be like, what if it was your daughter?
We wanted to ask that too, but FHP declined to talk with us, and when we tried Trooper Esposito, he didn't answer.
Should the taxpayers still be paying his salary knowing that he does this and has this type of behavior?
Definitely not. No.
You nervous?
It's ridiculous that we're paying somebody to creep on women.
I'm making a life. Why am I making a life?
Now, the investigation into Trooper Esposito involved 3 days of undercover observations of his shifts. During that time, investigators caught Esposito speeding, clocking in but socializing rather than patrolling, even attending a coworker's birthday party on the taxpayer's dime.